Well, my name is Skip Meyer, and I am lucky enough to live up here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I own a company called High Point and High Point Medical, and it has two branches. We have High Point Medical and High Point IT. High Point Medical focuses on revenue cycle management and all the things therein. We've actually teamed up with some other mvTestimonials to do some of the credentialing for us. And so all aspects of billing and collections on the medical side is what High Point Medical is all about. I was honored to be invited to join one of the clubs, the Founders Club, and I consider that an honor. I've never missed a meeting, nor will I if I have the power not to miss those meetings. They're very valuable. I think some of the things that I get from those MedVale meetings the most, I like the personal stuff that happens in those meetings. Many times we think of CEOs or presidents or owners of companies as these bomb-proof people, men and women that just have, they never have a bad day. They never get up and have pressure beyond their wildest dreams. And what I found out in our MedVale meetings that we do monthly, we get on a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting every month. What I found out in those meetings is that all these other men and women have the same issues facing them that I do on a daily basis. There's been personal issues come out where we've been able to actually do group hugs, if you want to call it that, on a Zoom meeting and give each other input, give each other support, for lack of better terms, to love on each other. And to see these guys that are, man, there's in our group, there's heart surgeons, there's multinational business owners, there's multimillionaires, there's companies that have hundreds of employees, and all these guys get together once a month and sit down for an hour and a half and discuss what works, what doesn't. And I can't think of anything more valuable than to have that kind of leadership come together with those thoughts and ideas. You know, being in the healthcare industry for over 25 years now, one of the things that has really struck home with me in the last 3 to 4 years is changes are happening right now in the healthcare industry faster than we can possibly keep up with. As a business owner, it's impossible for me to do enough research on everything that's going on around me to stay current with issues. I look at MedVale and being a part of a club, as I kind of look at it as this little circle. In this little circle, I get to be part of an hour-and-a-half conversation every month with this little circle of people that are called the Founders. They're on a certain club, and I know there's a lot of clubs in the MedVale city, in the MedVale community, but in my little club, my little cluster, the club members, we get to talk. Here's this little circle once a month. Then I think of this bigger circle, and it's all that little circle that yes, we spend an hour and a half talking every month, but then throughout the rest of the month, the bigger circle is that we all communicate with each other outside of the MedVale club meetings. And it's in that bigger circle that the value has really become relevant. The value of MedVale has really become relevant to me, because I'm learning that so many of these people have areas to offer. Some are better at HR, some are better at the different areas of focus on business, and I can ask them questions. And the cool thing about all the MedValeistas is there's no arrogance. These guys could afford arrogance. They could afford to be arrogant, but they're not. They want to help each other. They want to dig in and what do you got going on? It's fun to see that the persuasion, the influence from MedVale, and to start to see that breathe oxygen into my company has been a real joy, because there's so much value to having executives and CEOs that have been there, done that. I love to say that about the MedVale people. It's a collection of people who have been there and done that. And instead of me having to go out and reinvent the wheel, many times I can just bring those questions or comments to our conference calls. I know that the people that lead the conference calls, whether it be Jim or one of the other club members that leads our Zoom calls, they always leave time during that period to ask the question, how can we help you? And I've been a part of organizations for years, and you just don't hear that anymore in the organizations. Most organizations want to showcase what their needs are. They want to talk about them at length. But I love the fact that on our MedVale calls, there's always the question, how can we best help you as our club members? If I had a chance to look a colleague in the eye that was evaluating whether or not he wanted to join the MedVale team, whatever club that would be, I would say the value of what MedVale can bring to your business, not only your business, maybe even your personal life, because I know that if my business isn't going well, my personal life isn't going well, and vice versa. So I think the MedVale influence can hit all parts of your life. But the one thing that I would say to somebody giving thought to joining the team or not would be, do you currently right now have a place where you can share, whether it be the highs or the lows? Do you have a place right now that's safe where you can go with that information, with those questions you might have, with that information you might want to share, with thoughts? You're going to go a certain direction and you're just not sure you should go that direction. Why not ask 5 or 6 guys that have already been down that road? And instead of you having trial and error, let them give you their input. You may or may not use their input, but it's so nice to know it's there. I'm actually getting in on planes and getting in vehicles and going to meet with MedVale founding club members here this month as well, face to face, guys that I've sat for 3 or 4 or 5 months now on conference calls with, and we're going to meet and have breakfasts and lunches together and collaborate on how we can help each other in our best interests for our companies. So I think, to summarize a little bit the way I feel about MedVale, it's made a huge difference in our lives here at High Point. Not just from the standpoint that we can collaborate with people that are better than we are, but from the standpoint of it's helped to give us better vision. It's helped me to think maybe I shouldn't just have 2 or 3 offices. Maybe I should have 7 or 8 offices, because now I've got contacts in all these different regions that would help me do that. And I think that's what MedVale is all about, is helping each other be successful.